How did your checkup go?
The baby's doing fine. The doctor said I should do some walking to help with the swelling.
Good. Should you really be going for a walk, though? What if you have an accident or something?
You're worrying too much. It's the same as if I were to go shopping.
That's a bit more than just a walk, though.
He said getting fresh air in general would be good for me. If I have time, I think I'll go out for one day.
Yeah, I guess you have been spending too much time sitting at home. Getting a little bit of sunshine wouldn't hurt.
Exactly. If I just sit inside every day, I might get depressed, you know?
Yeah, I know. Well, on my next day off, let's go for a nice walk together.
I'm not completely helpless. I can go alone.
But still, it's a bit dangerous.
Fine. If you want to take a walk with me, maybe try taking an actual day off from work first.
True. Well, I will for you.
I'm guessing you're gonna be coming home tonight?
I really have to stay until this project is completely done. I'm sorry. I'm sure things are getting harder around the house now.
Well, just a bit. My morning sickness has calmed down, but obviously things are much harder than before.
Should I ask my mom if she can start helping out? I'm sure she wouldn't mind.
I don't know.
Besides, that's what family is for.
Yeah, true, but it kind of feels like she doesn't really like me.
Well, I mean, she just feels like you've taken her son away. Maybe all moms kind of feel that way.
Yeah, that's true, but I think since I'm pregnant, it won't be as bad, but still.
Yeah, I understand. But please just tell me when you feel like you need help. For you and the baby, I can always take off work.
Thank you. And yes, if I get to be overwhelmed, I'll be honest. Well, good luck on that project.
Thanks.
I'm sorry, Nate. Do you have a minute? I have something important I need to tell you.
Important. Did something happen to the baby?
Calm down. The baby is fine.
Thank God. So, what's going on?
Today, I went for a walk. All of a sudden, a car came charging onto the sidewalk.
You were in an accident?
Well, at the last second, I jumped out of the way. But in order to avoid the car, I fell. When I fell, I injured my spine. Even though the baby's okay, I can no longer walk.
What? Are you being serious?
I was only trying to avoid the car. And just my luck, this happened. Just when everything was going well. I'm really sorry.
Why are you apologizing? The idiot driving that car is the problem.
I'm going to be a mother, but now I'm going to be handicapped. I'm just going to be a burden to you and the baby.
Don't say that. You could never be a burden to me.
Thank you.
I should be thanking you. For protecting the baby. For being strong through this. Thank you.
You are so sweet. Thank you.
You'll be in the hospital for a while, right? So for now, just worry about the baby and rest.
Yes, I will be. Nate, I'm glad I have you.
I'm the lucky one. We will get through this, the three of us. Don't worry, okay?
Okay. I wouldn't be able to get through this without you.
And you don't have to. I will always be here for you. I love when you rely on me.
Thank you. Being here has sure given me a lot of free time. I have nothing but time to think about everything I want to do as soon as I can leave. I can't wait to get out of here.
Yeah, about that.
Is there something you want to do first? Of course, whatever you want to do will be at the top of my list.
I want a divorce.
What? That's not funny.
I'm not joking.
This has to be a joke. You told me. We would get through this, the three of us.
I'm sorry. I've already made up my mind. I just can't be with you.
Are you doing this because you did something wrong? Whatever you did, I'll forgive you. We can fix this. Please don't do this.
You're wrong. That's not why.
Then why? Is it because I'm disabled now?
Exactly. Since the accident, I thought it over and I don't want to spend my life taking care of you.
I understand. You should live your life for you, not someone else. I don't want you to waste your life on me either.
I'm really sorry.
It's fine. Don't apologize. I'm fine. All I need is the baby.
I will pay child support. Enough for you to live comfortably.
You don't have to overdo it, okay? I want you to just live your life. I'll agree to a divorce, because I love you.
Thank you. I spoke with Gina. Good. Did you finally end things? Yeah, she agreed to the divorce. She was very understanding. Well, obviously. Not being able to live without a wheelchair is just going to be a burden on you. You shouldn't have even needed to convince her. It's obvious you need to just move on now. Mother, do you really have to talk like that? I still love her regardless. Okay, well, from the start she was arrogant. And after stealing my son, she goes off and gets pregnant. Next time someone tries to damage our relationship, I'll make sure they regret it. I've let this drag on for long enough. Oh yeah? Will you do the same type of thing you've done this time? I guess you're taking the law into your own hands. Or do you think you're God the way you decide punishments for people? What? Let me ask you one thing. On the day of Gina's accident, where were you? Why are you asking me that all of a sudden? How is that even relevant? Just tell me. Or is there a reason you can't? What? I was at the house, so what? Oh, really? You were at the house all day? Yes. What is this? What are you trying to say? I'm sorry, Mother. I was just wondering. No matter how much you don't like her, you'd never do something like that, right? Of course I wouldn't. I could never hurt your wife. She's my daughter-in-law. Yeah. I guess it must be some kind of misunderstanding. What misunderstanding? What are you talking about? Nothing. It's just that when Gina collapsed, my friend was the one who called the ambulance. Maybe it's just a coincidence, but he said he saw a car that looked just like yours driving away. Well, it definitely wasn't me. There are plenty of cars that look like mine out there. So, does that mean that the footage on the dashcam is just a fluke? Dashcam? Yep. Dad didn't tell you? He said you aren't the safest driver, so on one of my days off, we installed one. Better safe than sorry, right? I had no idea. It recorded everything. And just as my friend said, you attempted to hit Gina. With that being said, let's hear your excuse. Excuse? I didn't mean to hit her. I just wanted to scare her a little. And she fell on her own. I didn't technically do anything to her. I didn't know things would turn out like this. Okay, so why didn't you call an ambulance immediately? My friend said Gina clearly looked like she was crouched over in pain. I immediately drove off. I didn't know what condition she was in. I just thought she may have gotten a few bruises from falling. I didn't know it was serious enough to need an ambulance. The dashcam caught where you stopped, too. It recorded even once you got out of the car. What? So, you didn't think it was necessary to call an ambulance? You probably thought the worst of what could happen to the baby, didn't you? I never thought that. That really wasn't my intention at all. Please, you have to believe me, Nate. How can you tell me to believe a person who put their own son's wife in danger? She could have lost the baby. Like I said, I never intended for it to be this bad. So, since you already knew the truth and divorced her anyway, that means everything's fine, right? A real mother would never say something like that. Don't you have any shame? Why would I choose you over my own wife and child? That doesn't even make sense. I can't be with someone when it's my own mother's fault she's paralyzed. That's why I asked for a divorce. Unlike you, I have a conscience. Please don't tell me you... Yes, of course I already told him. As far as receiving a settlement, Dad even recommended a good lawyer. And clearly you'll take full responsibility. I'm your mother. You don't just expect me to pay it alone, do you? We're a family. This is just ridiculous. There's no way you can call yourself my mother anymore. So you're just going to abandon me? You've made your bed. Shouldn't you lie in it? It's pitiful you just want us to cover this all up. Please. Dad and I will make sure you will do everything possible to atone for what you've done. You're going to pay for her medical bills, attorney fees, and whatever else comes up because of this. And I don't intend to ever accept you back into our lives. Not only do I lose my son, You're saying that I have to pay for all that? I did this for you! I did this to get my son back! You have your own life. You can't treat me like a child forever. Parents that don't know how to let their children live their own lives clearly don't know what it means to be a parent.
Hey, Nate. I heard about everything from your dad. So, this is why you wanted a divorce?
Yes. So, do you understand now? We clearly just can't be together anymore.
I just can't believe she did this. I knew she didn't like me, but not enough to do something like this.
I'm so sorry. I know an apology will never be enough.
Well, I couldn't sign the papers.
Don't you get it? My mother did this to you. There's just no way I can be with you anymore, Gina.
Why? Why can't we be together?
What do you mean?
I know I will be like this for the rest of my life. I know it's only going to get harder from here, and I also know I can never forgive your mother.
Exactly.
But I still want to be with you. I thought I could just live for our baby's sake. But the truth is, I can't. It's too painful to be without you. This life that I now have to bear through is even more painful without you. I want things to just go back to how they were before. Don't you think we can?
I don't know. I don't want to think about a life without you either. But...
But... what?
Gina, after everything my mother did, are you absolutely sure you want to still be with me?
If I'm telling you that's what I want, how could it not be okay? And if someone else does think it's shameful, it's really none of their business. They have no idea how much you've done for me.
I don't know what to say. Gina, I love you.
I love you too, Nate. This will only make us stronger.
After that, my father and I took my mother to court. Of course, with the evidence from the dashcam and my friend's testimony, my mother was convicted. My father also divorced her. It was declared that the settlement be taken directly from my mother's salary so that she can't run from the charges. My father has been keeping an eye on her, and from what we've talked about, it seems she's going through a tough time, juggling multiple jobs just to pay the settlement. Because of everything she's done to Gina, her life has become so dull. She's just going through the motions, like a zombie. The fact that her life is now dedicated to supporting someone she hated, it seems she is truly suffering the consequences of her actions. As for Gina and I, we had a healthy baby and are living happily. Gina has gotten used to using a wheelchair to the point where she can take care of the house and the baby just fine. In order to support her more, I switched to a job that allows me to come home on time. As a couple, we are trying our best to secure our baby's future. We don't want to become a burden for our child, like my mother has become for me.